Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of the WBE. Of course, I am the coach of the Melbourne Rotoms, and this week we're going up against Nexus, and I'm really excited for this. We're actually just jumping right into things, and I got rid of the overlay I was using because I felt like there was a lot of wasted space, but I still wanted to keep the face cam, so let me know what people think about this. I might edit it as the weeks go along. I know right now it doesn't look very good, so yeah. But wanted to keep the face cam as well. So we're going right into it, and I think Nexus pretty much brought everything that we expected him to. Shuckle was like maybe the one thing that I think could have made some sense. So, I mean, the real threat here is definitely, there are a lot of threats, obviously. There's the Darmanitan, there's the Charizard. I think it's actually relatively safe maybe to lead Hippowdon and just try to set up rocks. And if, for example, he leads something like Shiftry or the Darmanitan or Rotom, I guess the only thing that Darmanitan's or the Hippowdon's really good against is like Snorlax and maybe Charizard. But we could easily just switch out turn 1. So yeah, we're kind of jumping it right into things. That is, yeah, these games are really fast-paced and exciting. So I definitely learned a lot from last week against Kyle. I'm still learning a ton. I'm just gonna get all the calcs open right now so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, you know, this is still like relatively new, and I think Nexus has probably one of the more offensive drafts in the league. He's got hyper offense, especially with the Charizard and with the Darmanitan. So there's definitely going to be a lot of big scary things to go up against. But he's going to lead with Darmanitan. Okay, that's not too surprising. This is like max HP defense on Hippowdon, so maybe we can actually get rocks up. Although if he's banned, Icicle Crash probably just still demolishes us. But I could totally see him U-turning here. So if we want to get fancy, maybe we could just set up rocks. The safer play is obviously to just switch out into Jellicent. I mean, this is like Helmet Jellicent as well. But he could easily U-turn out. I mean, it's just so risky, I think, to eat up an Icicle Crash. So it's probably a little safer to just go out in a Jellicent turn 1. But man, I mean, if I could get rocks up here immediately, that'd be really nice. I quickly want to calc how much Icicle Crash does if he's banded against max Hippowdon. I feel like it probably still KOs. Yeah, it does. If he's banded, it will KO. U-turn is super safe for him here. Like, I would U-turn in his position, but I think I'm going to play it safe here. We'll get some Rocky Helmet damage as well, so it's not terrible. And if he Icicle Crashes, that's great for us, because then we're actually in a pretty good spot. But I'm expecting U-turn here. Yeah. Okay. Just don't think it's worth risking that on turn 1. And like Rocky Helmet damage is actually not bad against Darmanitan as well. So Stealth Rocks there would have put us in a really nice position, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth risking one of our biggest defensive tools like that. So I'm just gonna jot down everything he brought. So let's see, Charizard, Darmanitan, Shiftry, Snorlax. I'm trying to remember what else there was. He had the Rotom. That's not surprising at all. Rotom I think is actually really tough for my team, and that's why we have the Drampa. And there it is, yeah. So the sand is actually nice. I think residual damage is quite helpful against a lot of Nexus's team, especially because it's so frail to begin with. Hitmonlee was not something I was expecting, but I don't think that's too much of a threat. I kind of want to go out into Drampa here. So this is a Salt Vest Drampa, and it's by far our best answer against Rotom. Rotom hits everything else for pretty hard damage. So by going out into Drampa here, we can soak attacks decently well and can retaliate with like a Hyper Voice. We've got Energy Ball as well. So yeah. Let's see. So we saw Darmanitan. I probably should have actually calced if it was banded or scarfed there from the damage against Jellicent. I'm gonna try to quickly. Looks like it was scarfed. Scarf would make more sense too in this matchup. And he's actually got sub on Rotom. Okay. So that was a pretty safe sub. But Drapa's actually in a really solid place here. I mean, we could just go for Hyper Voice, which should go through the sub too. Yeah, I'm just gonna Hyper Voice. It's not Citrus either. Or sorry, Leftovers. And presumably like WoW, T-Bolt, or Volt Switch. and then Hydro Pump. Yeah, one thing you'll note is that he's actually going to swap out Rotom, so that's great. We basically got a lot of free damage onto it. And whatever's coming in, it's going to be Snorlax again. That's going to take some damage from Hyper Voice. It's not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Alright, so I need to see what the Snorlax does in singles. Because I'm tempted to just go out into either Jellicent or Hippowdon. I am worried about, like, Belly Drum, though, on this. Could just be, like, Curslax. The other question is when we want to bring out Gengar. It's probably safer to go out into Jellicent. I mean, we could go out into Hippowdon and then Rocks. And yeah, if it starts setting up, we can just Whirlwind. Yeah, I'm going to go out into Hippowdon here. I'm just worried about Belly Drum right now, I guess, because if it is Belly Drum, it's just so risky to Belly Drum here, given how much damage it took from Hyper Voice. So we're going to go into Hippowdon. The goal is to get up Rocks. We're like max defense. We should take any attack if it opts to go for it. It's just going to Body Slam. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that does nothing. We get paralyzed, though. That's not great. If I could get Rocks up here, that'd be huge. So I think I'm just going to go for it. So I was wondering if he had... He's going to switch out. It's fine by me. What's coming out? Into Shiftry. Okay. And we get Rocks up, which is great. I think Shiftry gets Rapid Spin, though. I'm going to double check that real quick. So that's a nice switch out. We might want to opt to switch out our next turn. I'm going to double check what Shiftry does in general. We're doing alright on time so far, which is good. So Shiftry... it does not get Rapid Spin, but it gets Defog, I believe. Yeah. Although I don't know if it still does in the newer games. Because someone pointed that out. It does, okay. Yeah, I kind of want to switch out here. Could go out into Umbreon, honestly, and just see what the Shiftry's going to go for and stall it out with lefties. There's probably a better switch out there. Yeah, I don't think we needed to bring out Umbreon this early. Ooh, he's special nasty plot. Oh boy. That's interesting. Wonder if he's got Sucker Punch then? If he's special. We've got Yawn on this Umbreon. I mean, this is a pretty free opportunity to just go for Yawn and then Protect next turn. So I think we'll go for that. I'm making my moves faster because last week I was making really unoptimal plays towards the end. By the time we got towards the end of the battle. And I don't want that to happen again. We've gotten a lot of good damage across the board though. And as you can see, it's a Smooth Rock on the Hippowdon. So, I mean, this Excadrill can put in a lot of work late game. I think the Charizard's probably going to be Heavy Duty Boots or Charty Berry if I had to guess. Those would make the most sense to me. But we're kind of chipping away. Oh, he's got Focus Blast and he connects. Okay, does that KO? I don't think it does, right? It does? Is that a crit? No, wow. I guess I should have calced that. I was not expecting that to knock out. Wonder if that's a roll then, because we're pretty bulky. Probably should have made my moves a little bit faster then. We might go into Gengar and like he might have Sucker Punch. Don't know if that knocks out Gengar though once Dynamaxed. Let's see, Sucker Punch. I mean, with Dynamax, I don't think that should KO. No, it doesn't. The thing is, if we go into Gengar and Dynamax, he can just bring out Darmanitan and Revenge Kill us. I don't really think I have a better option to go into. He kind of sweeps me otherwise. So I think we might have to bring out Gengar here. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting that Focus Blast to knock out. And that's all my bad. I think I just kind of underestimated Shiftry as a Pokemon. I'm still curious about that Calc. Oh, wow, yeah, it's a guaranteed knockout. I'm really impressed by that. He probably has Sucker Punch for the Gengar, honestly. We could protect this first turn. But we know we survived the Sucker Punch, so I'd rather just get the KO here. With Max Use, because yeah, Shiftry will demolish me otherwise. But I'm sure he's got Sucker Punch. Special Shiftry was a really good call by him. What we could have done here was actually protected Gengar, I think, to scout out for Sucker Punch. If he doesn't have it, then we can actually just choose not to Dynamax. One thing I'm definitely not doing well enough is using Dynamax or G-Max Wall. So let's see. Yep, he's got it. But we survive. That was a crit. That's actually unfortunate, because if he doesn't get that crit, we survive another turn with Gengar. But now we get KO'd. So Shiftry's out of the way. Cool Shiftry set, though. That was, yeah, I was not expecting it to take it Umbreon the way it did. And this Umbreon's on the defensive spectrum. We'll survive, yeah, actually, because Sandstorm is gone. But I think Darmanitan probably comes in here to try to revenge kill. We are chipping everything away at this point for the Excadrill, though, in the late game. Especially because we have rocks up, and Shiftry didn't go for Defog. So let's see. He's got... Just seeing what else can clear hazards on his team right now. I think Darmanitan should come out, yeah, so that's definitely Scarfed. There is value to maybe just swapping out Gengar here. Potentially. Let's see how we're doing on time. Okay, we're doing alright. He's gonna Ice Skull Crash, I think. He might U-turn, actually. He's Scarfed. We're gonna get KO'd anyway, so I think there's value to just Max Guarding this turn to scout out for what he wants to go for. If it's U-turn, then we can take advantage of that potentially. Yeah, it is U-turn. Makes sense. So there's actually value to potentially just not sacking Gengar here, so it forces him to switch out into something first. Because otherwise, if I switch out here, he gets momentum. I'm not sure Gengar is that important for me in this matchup, although I can get a big Sludge Bomb off in the late game, I guess. But I think I'm fine sacking Gengar here. Yeah. Okay, so Gengar goes down, but he has to switch into something now. And that confirms the Scarf, but we already pretty much knew that. Okay. So Shiftry is KO'd. We haven't seen Charizard or Hitmonlee yet. I feel like I've been alright with how I played this other than the play against Shiftry. I just underestimated Shiftry in general. And I actually really wanted to just go out in a Gengar that first turn as well. So I think if I would have done a play differently, that is the single play I would have made different. I just didn't really know what to expect from it, I guess. Nasty Plot was not something I had really expected at all, but... And I was expecting like a physical set, but Nasty Plot actually makes a ton of sense since my team is not very good on the special spectrum. Yeah, so that is something I needed to better prepare for, I think. But I think we needed to use Gengar to knock it out, basically, because it sweeps us otherwise. And it's not heavy-duty boots. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. We have a bunch of... We can go to Hippowdon or Drampa here. Wondering if Draco Meteor knocks it out. Or knocks out Charizard. Maybe we go out into Hippowdon and then switch out into Drampa. I kind of like that a little bit more. Yeah, just to set the weather. I think it'll probably be Charty Berry if it's not heavy-duty boots. I should have calced that first, actually. This whole timer thing is definitely throwing me for a spin. I think actually Draco after Sand will do enough to KO, I think. Assuming that it's not bulky. I think I just hard switch into Drampa here. You could predict this and go from like max fighting. But this is Assault Vest Drampa, like I mentioned. Yeah, we are whittling everything down, but he's obviously up right now in terms of Pokemon. Yeah, I really wish I just switched in Gengar hard, but I didn't want to eat up a knockoff and just get KO'd by Shiftry. So I think that would have been kind of an aggressive play. But yeah, the Shiftry set was really cool. I think Umbreon could have provided us a lot more utility in this match, especially because of how it faces up against the Darmanitan. Although I guess Darmanitan probably has superpower and Jellicent's better for it anyway. I don't like super regret that, but here's the G-Max Charizard now. Yeah. So I mean, a Draco Meteor will knock this out if it's not bulky after sand damage. I feel like Charty Berry makes the most sense. So let's see what he goes for here. If it's Max Grass or something else. Might be just Max Fire. Yeah, it is Max Grass. Okay. It's got Overgrowth. Yeah, that does nothing. We should survive any attack too. And the nice thing is that Dramp actually gets recovery off that too. I'm just checking Focus Blast. Man, if the Shiftry missed the Focus Blast, we would have been in such a good spot this game. But I can't complain about that. Probably Timid. It's not Life Orbed. Oh, this is nothing to us. Yeah, I think we're just safe to Draco Meteor here, honestly. I'm just gonna go for it. He's just max airstreaming. We're Assault Vest. We should take this decently. Yep. Alright, not bad. Let's see how bulky he is. We're gonna get the Berserk off too. Actually, that should get the knockout as long as we don't miss this and we connect. Okay, beautiful. Nice. So this Charizard is KO'd now. So it didn't really do that much, which is good. Rotom is probably Bulky Berry. We've seen Scarf Darmanitan. We've got Jellicent to deal with it, but we have to worry about Darmanitan locking itself in an Earthquake. But Excadrill will just win the late game against that, obviously. So Assault Vest Drampo was huge in this matchup. Yeah, otherwise Charizard was really scary to go up against. Nexus has like a super offensive team. We haven't seen the Hitmonlee yet. That might come out now. We've only seen Sub on Rotom. I have to be careful because obviously we only have 4. I mean, we both have 4 Pokemon now, but I'm slowly getting whittled away. I mean, Drampa is in KO range from anything basically. I actually should have maybe just protected with Umbreon the first time around. The more I think about it now, but I can't think about that too much right now. We can reflect on the game later. Let's see. So Hitmonlee's out. This Pokemon's scary too. I kind of want to just go out in a Jellicent here. We need to make sure we have enough sand turns for this late game as well, but we're doing alright right now. Kind of want to just like not bring in Jellicent immediately though, because he could easily predict this and go for, I don't know, like a Thunder Punch. But I mean, how much does that really do against us? Hitmonlee with Jellicent. I don't think it should do too much. It's just such an obvious switch out. I mean, that does nothing. But do I really need Drampa at this point? I don't know what Hitmonlee does here, so it's probably better to switch out, but yeah, he just Mach Punches. Is that KO? It does. Yeah, I mean, switching into Jellicent was super free there. But I didn't want it taking like more damage than it needed to, because now I get a free switching into it. And hilariously enough, actually, he set up the grassy terrain for me, so I think that he's going to just switch out in a Rotom here, so I can actually just click Giga Drain. That might knock out with grassy terrain up. That would be sick if it did. But yeah, if I just switched into Jellicent there, I'd still have a Drampa that's around. I just didn't want... I mean, this doesn't get Swords Dance, so I think switching out there is better. Yeah, I'm still getting used to playing with the single timer, because I'm definitely not making the most optimal plays. Shouldn't be worried about a Thunder Punch there because we're so bulky anyway. So if he switches out in a Rotom here and we just knock out with Giga Drain, that would be like the ideal case. But even if we don't, we'll heal back a ton. And like I said, we're setting ourselves up for the late game with Excadrill. Excadrill's definitely beating Darmanitan. As we chip away at Rotom and Hitmonlee as well, it should just be able to KO everything. Especially if we're somehow able to get a Swords Dance off. Not sure that'll be that easy to do though. But yeah, that was a really easy switch I could have made last turn. Yeah. Right now I'm just trying to... He's actually just gonna... Oh, he has Throat Chop. Okay. How much does that do? Okay. Did over half. He takes that pretty well, too. That might be a Soul Vest, honestly. Another Throat Chop will KO us. That is, yeah, something I... Man, if we Strength Up there, we would have been in a really good spot. Yeah, I didn't think I'd take over 50%. Or not over 50, but just around there. I think that's a Soul Vest. Does he just chop again? How many turns of sand do we have left? We also have to keep that in mind. 4, okay. Does EQ just knock this thing out? It should. I mean, its defense is so low. I'm gonna try to Strength Up here. But he just goes for Throat Chop. Is that KO? Okay, yeah. So we can go out into the Excadrill now. I didn't think Throat Chop would 2-shot us. I think I underestimated that. So it's 2-4, but we get Excadrill in a really good spot. This could be a time to Swords Dance. Yeah, but running out of sand turns too, I guess. I could just see a switch out in a Rotom. 3 turns of sand. He's only got a minute left too. I want a Swords Dance here so badly, but I think he probably... I want a Rock Slide here for the Rotom switch in. Or Swords Dance. But he could just sack here to get a free switch in. It's too risky, I think. I got an Earthquake. Oh, he's just going to Mach Punch instead. Okay, that makes sense too. Him only put in work. This is a fun game. I definitely have not played optimally. It's mainly the things that I just like had no idea what they did that caught me off guard. And I just did not think Hitmonlee would 2-shot my Jellicent. So that was definitely the thing that caught me off guard the most. But I'm glad we didn't like Swords Dance or try to get fancy there. I wonder if Rapid Spin would have knocked out the Hitmonlee. That might have been better then, actually. And we had more than enough time in this game, so honestly I think I could have played a little bit slower and made slightly more optimal plays. Yeah. I don't think Rapid Spin's actually getting that KO. I don't think we're doing enough to Rotom, actually. 2 turns of sand. Could go for Rock Slide Flinch. I need to play better around Rotom, and that's why I shouldn't have just sacked Drampa. But the reason I switched out Drampa there was because I thought he might try to get fancy with the prediction and go for like a Thunder Punch or a super effective attack into the Jellicent. But if I Rock Slide, I mean, his odds of hitting a Hydro or Will-O-Wisp are not exactly super high. It's pretty close to 50-50. I might go for the... He also only has 21 seconds left. But we missed the Rock Slide. And he hits Hydro. Is that KO? I mean, oh yeah, obviously KOs, yeah. Oh. This was really close. I think it pretty much came down to that. He's not buried either. Oh. I mean, he might have been 50% buried. Yeah. Because if we flinch or he misses there, I mean, the odds of flinching is 30. I think that was our best play. I don't think switching into Hippowdon was the play there, but I'm just going to click Slack off, and maybe we can win off time because he's running low on time. I haven't even been looking at that. Connects Hydro Pump. Can we survive this and get a Slack off? Oh. I think he literally had like 15 seconds left. Good game to Nexus. That was super fun. there's a lot to reflect on because I played pretty poorly, I think. One, Shiftry I didn't prepare well enough for, but I don't know. I think maybe protecting with Umbreon is the move the first time around, but I'm not sure I would do much otherwise there anyway. Like, if he misses that Focus Blast, I think we're in such a good spot. If we flinch him with Rock Slide or he misses Hydro Pump there, I think we also probably win the game. So kind of disheartening, but at the end of the day, we needed to rely on RNG to win, which wasn't good. So there were definitely a bunch of better plays we could have made. One, we could have switched out into Drampa. I could have just gone for Rocks turn 1 as well to avoid chip damage there onto Legelicent. Man, there are a bunch of others. I'm trying to think of all the plays because I was trying to reflect, and I think this time I probably played too fast and wasn't doing all the calcs that I needed to and thinking about everything fully. I think I also just I wasn't aware of Throat Trap on Hitmonlee. Still really surprised by that damage output against it, but yeah, that looked like the Sylvest. I think we maybe should have Strength Sap the first time around. I just thought him switching into Rotom there was honestly really, really likely, and if we call that Rotom switch in, I think Excadrill just wins the game, so I don't really regret going for that prediction too much. He just made a better play there, but I think, yeah, maybe going for Strength Sap the first time around is better. I just really thought with Giga Drain, after Grassy Terrain, we'd heal back enough as well. So yeah, the main two things that caught me off guard were Shiftry being able to boost up and then hit that Focus Blast to knock out Umbreon. And then the second big thing in this game was the Hitmonlee doing probably more than it should have. Because if we conserve Drampa, then we have another switch into Rotom as well, which is big, because then we get more turns of Sand. But yeah, I'm curious how bulky the Rotom was. If it wasn't bulky enough to take 2 Rock Slides, like, let's see how much Rock Slide is doing here. Yeah, I mean, Rock Slide, even against max HP, is doing half. So he might have been like one of the Fewon berries. If he was, that would have been a game changer, because then we probably need 2 flinches. Although, I need to look back and see how much time he had left, because I think he almost might have lost on time. But I don't want to win a game like that anyway. It's just, he was getting really dangerously low and wasn't paying attention to that. So yeah, I think I made my moves a little too fast this time. Shiftry caught me off guard, ultimately. But I don't even know, like, even if I'm expecting the Focus Blast there, who do I switch out into? I guess Gengar is the best switch in there. Because you're never going to go for a Grass or a Dark-type attack against the Umbreon, so I think I just needed to play a little bit more aggressively and make some better predictions, because ultimately I wasn't really predicting, and I felt like I was in a position where I didn't really need to, but in the end, that was actually not the case. So, could have made a bunch of better predictions. I think the team was really solid. We had all the tools to win this one, but I just got kind of caught off guard by the Shiftry. We got crit on the Gengar, which was unfortunate, but I don't think that really mattered too much. Thinking if it was worth it to maybe conserve the Gengar as well, that would have given us more damage output against Hitmonlee. Although, I wonder if that had Sucker Punch as well. It does get access to, or no, it doesn't get access to it. That's just him on top. Yeah, so Sylvest Hitmonlee was pretty cool. I'm assuming that was AV, but Hitmonlee is really bulky naturally, so maybe it wasn't. But if we just Strength Sap the first time around, that could have been better. Yeah, I've been talking on for a bunch now. So good game to Nexus. Check out his perspective. All linked in the description below. I think ultimately, like I said, we have a pretty hyper offensive team as well, and I wasn't well prepared enough for the Shiftry set. Like, I wasn't expecting Nasty Plot at all, but it makes a lot of sense. And I think I needed to play more aggressively as soon as I saw the Nasty Plot, and I didn't think +2 Focus Blast would knock out Umbreon, honestly, but it was able to. So probably could have gone for the Protect the first time around just to scout out, and then maybe switch Umbreon out into Gengar, because then we can just go for the Dynamax play like I was talking about, and then we'll just knock out Shiftry while conserving Umbreon. And if we conserve Umbreon, I think that helps us win the game as well, because we get another free switch into things like Rotom, and we can Wish Pass. So I did not utilize Umbreon well enough in this game. But yeah, I think this is one of the games where could have gone very differently, even with all the same plays, mainly because if he misses the Focus Blast, if we hit that Rock Slide, if we flinch, or misses Hydro Pump, the outcome could be pretty different. But like I said, I didn't play well enough to warrant winning, and you never want to be in a position to be relying on misses, because at the end of the day, the odds are higher that those attacks hit. So this was me playing maybe too fast as opposed to me playing too slow last week, and then really rushing my moves towards the end. So yeah, just needed to look a little bit more into what the Shiftry could do potentially, and then think about do the calc on Focus Blast and then potentially switch out there. The scary thing is we do have some pretty frail Pokemon, so if like Nexus makes some really aggressive predictions, he could be in a really great spot, which is why I played like relatively safe. But in a fast tempo game like this, I think I need to move a little bit faster. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Go check out Nexus. We dropped to 1-1, but I mean, that was a really fun game, and I think Nexus had a really well prepared team as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. All right, peace.